It's the first of its kind in Canada, a design challenge specifically aimed at sea level rise, as landscape architects from Canada, the Netherlands, and the U.S. are working together to try and protect False Creek in what's being called the Sea to City Design Challenge.
Its goal is to come up with new tools to address sea level rise and coastal flooding, but not just respond to the technical issues that we're expecting, that is compromises in drainage and overland flooding, but also respond to our community values.
And they don't have time to waste.
False Creek is part of the Pacific Ocean, and so we are expecting about 50 centimeters of sea level rise by 2050 and about 100 to 140 centimeters of sea level rise by 2100.
To understand why this beloved area is susceptible to sea level rise, we need to take a look back at the past of False Creek.
This area was a low-lying area. It was a network of mud flats and eelgrass meadows. And so those algae, those plants, and those habitats like to be low, and they like to be, covered in water. And so in 1912, the city decided to fill in half of False Creek. And so those low-lying lands were covered, but they were still low. And so because False Creek is this low-lying area, we're just naturally more vulnerable to whatever the ocean, ocean storms and water levels that take place here.
And with that in mind, and the fear that there could be drastic changes coming to the area in our lifetime, the City of Vancouver launched the Sea to City Design Challenge. The architects who have worked on projects in areas like San Francisco, where they're facing similar issues, are also working closely alongside host nations to guide them in the designs.
I'm really excited to see how we can decolonize our work and how that effort shows up in the design concepts.
Early concept ideas will be showcased in the spring, focusing on 3 approaches: resisting water, accommodating water, and moving away from water, with the final design being approved in late July. Angela Danyluk, who's the Senior Sustainability Specialist with the City of Vancouver, shared some of the potential ideas with the Weather Network.
There's some ideas that utilize indigenous technology, like clam gardens. So clam gardens, they're kind of like tiered steps in the beach. They buffer the energy that waves provide when they crash onto the shore. And we know with sea level rise and climate change, we will expect more water and more storms. And so with those storms come waves, and that will cause erosion against our shoreline. So technologies like clam gardens could really work here. We've also thought there's a lot of room for stormwater capture through green infrastructure. So those can look like rain gardens, swales, ponds, wetlands, and those will help to soak up the rainfall that also contributes to flooding.
Along with creating a safer space that can deal with the rising sea levels, the city's also working on educating the public. They've been hosting online webinars to teach Vancouver residents more about climate change impacts and what we can collectively do to help.